Imagine walking into an Apple store this September. The air feels different. Usually, you see a long table filled with dozens of identical-looking glass rectangles. But this time, the choices are weirdly simple. There is no safe option. There is no middle ground iPhone 17 to fall back on. Instead, there are only 3 phones staring back at you: the Pro, the Pro Max, and something that looks like it was pulled straight out of a science fiction movie. They call it the iPhone Ultra. This isn't just another yearly upgrade where the camera gets 10% better, and the blue color is a slightly different shade of blue. This is Apple finally burning the playbook and trying something bold. I know what you're thinking. We hear these rumors every single year. We hear about delays, technical hurdles, and prototypes that aren't ready for prime time. But this year feels different. The supply chain leaks are locked in. Apple isn't messing around anymore. The giant is finally waking up to the foldable revolution. And they aren't just joining the race, they are trying to end it. Let's talk about the one thing that has kept Apple fans away from foldables for years: the crease. Let's be honest, every foldable manufacturer on the planet claims to have an invisible crease. Then you open the phone in person, the light hits it at a certain angle, and it looks like a permanent dent in your soul. It ruins the immersion. But Apple is reportedly obsessed with a specific number: 0.15 millimeters. Now, let's be clear, Apple hasn't magically deleted the laws of physics. If you fold a piece of glass, there will be a point of tension. But at 0.15 millimeters, we are talking about a tolerance so thin that the human eye struggled to register it under normal lighting. It's the closest we have ever seen to the glass bending like paper illusion. This isn't just luck. It's engineering overkill. The secret to this invisible fold is the hinge. Apple is reportedly going all in on a liquid metal hinge design. This isn't your standard stainless steel or aluminum. Liquid metal is significantly stronger, more durable, and most importantly, it allows for a much smoother mechanical motion. This smoothness is exactly what helps reduce that crinkle look over time. To make this happen, Apple is doing something futuristic: 3D printing the internal hinge components. Now, that might sound like a gimmick, but Apple has been quietly testing 3D printing with their titanium watches for a while now. They've perfected the scale, and now they're applying it to the most complex mechanical part they've ever put in a phone. But here is where the Ultra gets truly insane. Let's talk about the thinness. When this phone is folded shut, it's about 9.5 millimeters. That's roughly the thickness of a standard phone in a slim case. It's pocketable. It's normal. But when you unfold it, the world changes. You are looking at a device that is roughly 4.5 millimeters thin. Think about that for a second. That is thinner than an iPad Pro. It's so thin that the USB-C port barely fits into the frame. It feels less like a piece of hardware and more like a floating window into the internet. However, that thinness comes with a massive Apple-style trade-off that is going to polarize everyone. The trade-off is Face ID. For the first time since the iPhone X, the notch and the dynamic island are effectively dead on the Ultra. Why? Because the hardware required for the TrueDepth camera system, the lasers, the sensors, the depth projectors, is simply too thick to fit into a 4.5 millimeters chassis. Apple had to make a choice: keep Face ID and make the phone bulky, or kill Face ID to achieve the dream of a paper-thin device. They chose the latter. In its place, Apple is bringing back a fan favorite, Touch ID, but it's not a home button. It's built directly into the power button on the side. For some, this is a massive downgrade. Face ID is invisible. It just works. But for others, having a physical, tactile way to unlock the phone before they even look at it is a win. It changes the feel of using an iPhone, making it feel more like a tool and less like a piece of jewelry. Now, you'd expect a phone called the Ultra to have the best cameras in the world, right? Well, the reality is a bit more complicated. On the back, you're looking at a 48-megapixel main sensor and a 48-megapixel ultra-wide. But there is a glaring omission: no telephoto lens, no 5x or 10x optical zoom. Why? Because a periscope zoom lens requires physical depth to bounce light through prisms, and in a 4.5 millimeters body, there is simply nowhere for that light to go. Apple is betting that Ultra users care more about the giant screen and the portability than they do about zooming in on a bird across a football field. But they aren't leaving the cameras completely basic. On the inside, where the big folding screen lives, Apple is testing an under-display camera. This means when you're watching a movie or browsing the web, There is no hole punch, no notch, and no distraction. It's a pure, edge-to-edge canvas. Performance-wise, the Ultra is a beast designed to last a decade. We're talking about the new A20 Pro chip, built on a process so advanced it's basically more efficient than some laptop processors. Pair that with 12 GB of RAM, the most ever in an iPhone, and you have a multitasking machine that can handle 3 or 4 apps open at once without breaking a sweat. But the real magic trick is the battery. How do you put a big battery in a 4.5mm phone? Apple's engineers have reportedly found a way to shrink the display driver and the internal motherboard to almost nothing, freeing up every square millimeter for a 5,800 mAh battery. That is a massive capacity. It's basically like taking 2 iPhone batteries, slicing them thin, and merging them together. But the real headline feature, the thing that actually makes this Ultra, isn't the screen or the fold. It's the connectivity. Apple is debuting their own in-house C2 modem. For years, Apple has relied on other companies for their signal. Not anymore. This modem is designed to be the most power efficient in the world, but it has a secret weapon: satellite dominance. Apple is leaning hard into a future where your phone doesn't need a cell tower. Whether you are in the middle of the Sahara Desert or 30,000 feet in the air, the Ultra is designed to stay connected to the world via satellite for more than just emergencies. We are talking about a world phone in the truest sense. In the end, the iPhone Ultra feels like Apple finally answering the question, what comes after the smartphone? It's a device that functions like a normal phone when you need it to, but expands into a workstation when you want to get things done. It's a risk. It's expensive. It gets rid of features like Face ID that we've used for years. But it's the first time in a long time that an iPhone feels like it's leading the way instead of just catching up. My opinion, the iPhone Ultra is going to be the most controversial device Apple has ever released. By ditching Face ID and the zoom lens, Apple is telling us that the thin and light philosophy is back. Personally, I think this is a genius move. People don't buy foldables for the camera. They buy them for the screen and the wow factor. If Apple can deliver a 4.5mm device that doesn't break and stays connected via satellite anywhere on Earth, they have already won. It's not about the specs, it's about the freedom of never losing signal and having a cinema in your pocket. If you liked the video, subscribe, share the video, and hit the bell icon to stay updated on the future of tech.